Hi guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, back again with you. And we've got another kit review for you today. As you know, last week I did a review of the B-17G, the Rose of York in 32nd scale, which was kindly sent to me by Neil over at Hong Kong Models as a Christmas gift. So that was beautiful. Then we did the Lancaster, the Grand Slam Lancaster. Lovely kit. Again, I didn't have that as a gift. I bought that from Hannants, but it was on a special with a third off. So it was like £273, which was a bargain. And I said I was going to get one of these, and I did. Probably after a few beers, really, to be honest. But this is currently available from Hannants. It's saying 30 plus on the website. They're also doing these third off, £273. Absolute bargain. Yes, £273 is a lot for a model kit, but this is a lot of model kit. And it's a big old bird. If you've ever seen one built, it's huge. The wingspan is 989 meters, so all but a meter, and it's 709 millimeters long, 657 parts, so not a massive part count when you consider that's like 1,000 parts less than the border model Lancaster. So you know, it's a lot less parts. And I think this is going to be, there's going to be a lot of interest in the B-17F in the modelling world very, very soon, because as we all know, 26th of January, it's currently the 8th of January 2024. 26th of January, Apple TV is starting with the new series Masters of the Air, and 2 weeks ago I hadn't even heard of it, and now I just simply cannot wait for it to come, because it looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm certainly going to subscribe to Apple TV so I can watch it. But here we are. This is the B-17F. As I say, it's available from Hannants, 273 quid. Absolute bargain for what it is. Let's have a look inside the box. I haven't looked inside this box yet. I haven't opened it. I don't think it's sealed. They normally aren't. No, it's not sealed. It came in a cardboard outer sleeve, beautifully packaged as usual from Hannants, as you can see, completely undamaged. All the corners are lovely. So there we are. So without further ado, let's get to the bench and have a look and see what's in here and how much different it is from the G offerings. Alright, so once again we have an absolutely massive box. It's huge. We can run around and look at the corners. You can see there the kit number is 01E029. And you can see here we've got the dimensions I told you earlier, 657 parts, 989 millimeters wingspan, 709 millimeters long, Hong Kong models. And then down here we got the United States flag with B-17 series on there. And then we go to the other lower corner. You can see it's a beautiful, beautiful diorama. Beautiful diorama. It's a beautiful image. It's lovely. It is very, very nice. You've got the ambulances there in the background. We've got a Jeep here chasing alongside. So very nice. Going on to the sides of the box. Here we have CAD images, which, as you know, I'm not a big fan of. I'd rather see the model itself. But we've got CAD images there of the nose. We've got the pitot tubes, we've got all the guns, we've got the DF loop on the bottom. I'm not sure if it's showing us different options there. I don't think it is it? Because that is not what is on the box front. That nose there has got a cutout in it for the gun. You can see the cutout. What's on the box art, in fact you can see here, is a smooth glazed nose without that cutout. So maybe we've got options. So here we've got the CAD image of the inside of the nose. We've got the upper turret there, which is different to the G, I believe. Here we've got the internal bomb bay and everything. You've got your belly gunner there, your ball turret, undercarriage legs here, and then you can see here there's that big chunky frame so you can hang it on the wall. If you want to see some quick builds of these kits, there's a channel on YouTube called Zed's Dad. If I think of it, I'll put a link down below. And he's done a couple of builds, and he actually goes right the way through the build, start to finish. And very quickly, not like me, he just goes through really, really quick. So this is what he's done, this is what he's discovered, da, da, da. You'll see I comment on a couple of his videos. They're a couple of years old now, but he does a nice job of them. So here you can see some information about the kit. It's not for small children. Backman Europe, so it's actually coming through official routes, as I guess it would from Hannants. So here on the sides of the box you can see we have a reflection of my camera. We have B-17F 24605 BNR knockout dropper. So the 359th Bomber Squadron, 303rd Group, England, November 43. So there we go, and we've got that sort of that funny camouflage where they just sprayed bits of dark green on them. It's a bit weird. The A20 has it as well, and it just looks weird to me. But notice this one's got silver leading edges on the wing, and the other one's got the ice jackets on it. So this is Memphis Belle 24485 DFA, obviously 324th Bomber Squadron, 91st Bomber Group, England, May 43. So we can see here we've got the symbol on the wheels there. We've got the different style camouflage, and we've got Memphis Belle on the nose. And then again, looking at the front of the box, as I say, that image on the side, you can see here we have a smooth glazed nose with guns either side, and this has got the modification because I believe the B-17F originally had 303s in the front, and then they changed them to 50 cals. And they had to put these supporting frames in to support the guns. When you look on the side of the box there, you can see here this has got the square cutout in the middle for the central gun. So obviously we're going to have options. I did notice that somebody, I forget your name, I'm sorry, I forget your name. He always comments on my videos with really, really valuable comments. You know who you are, and he commented on there the EF comes with 2 noses and everything, so you can do you can mix match with a G and make all sorts of different kits from that one, or from 2 boxings. So be interesting to see how it all works out. Right, so we can see on here we have our fuselage halves. Again, we've got the tips of the fin protected. This is something I was keen to see. We have the non-staggered windows, but on this one you can see we have, oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so what you need if you want to do, hang on. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually get a non-staggered without that, because the first model kit they did, which I've got behind me, which was 01E04, had staggered windows, but it didn't have that there. So if you want to do, but it didn't have a panel there like the other one, sorry, I'm getting confused here. So when you saw my Rose of York, we had that panel there. The first kit didn't have that. It just had, it was all like it was only ever made that, and then they've changed the moulds. So it's unfortunate we got that there. That's going to need some sanding and rectification, but we'll have a look at that in a minute when we get it out of the bag. So we got oodles and oodles of parts, as you can see here. Lots and lots of parts. We've got a nose there. We've got a G nose there. You can see. So this is the F nose. Maybe we get an E nose as well. Let's go for the full Monty, eh? So we've got clear parts here. We've got some loose parts in that bag I can see floating around. We've got decals at the bottom facing up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig through here and get the instructions out, because the first thing we'll do, as I always do, is have a look at the instructions, and then we'll have a look at the decals, and then we'll have a look at some plastic. See you in a second. Right, so I've had a look through here, and it all looks pretty straightforward, to be honest. The actual subject of the B-17, if you thought the Lancaster was confusing, the B-17 will drive you absolutely crazy, because there are so many crossovers. I want to say a massive thank you to Keith. Keith has sent me a 2-page document which shows the evolution in very simple sort of side-on drawings of what changed through the years. You know, and there you can see they're actually fitting chin turrets to B-17Fs, which I never knew about. And then, you know, there's all the changes up around the waist gun area and stuff, and basically from the B-17A to the B-17G, it's like a brand new airplane. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a minefield, and you really could come unstuck with the you know, with your Showtime rivet counters. Oh well, I see you've done this as a 1943 B-17F, and actually what you've done is a late, with that serial number, it should be in a late one because it had the nose turret and no upper gun in it. Oh, there's also lots of different turret designs on the top as well. So there we go. Anyway, so we've got some information all about the aircraft there. So I'll put that up in the frame so you can have a read. You can freeze frame and have a read that should you want to. We've got all the symbols here, which is telling you in health and safety about not gluing yourself to your dog and stuff like that. So massive instruction manual. It's about 14 inches tall. This is almost like A3 when it's on its side, but it's absolutely huge, which is great when you're building the model, but it's not very good when you're trying to do a model on camera, because you're forever like, you know. Whereas if you had a normal size instruction book, then it should be sort of showing you this and then put it down. Whereas with this, it's like a bloody novel. Anyway, enough waffling. So we've got the cockpit going together here, same as the G. We've got the control columns going in. We've got the central area there with the levers and everything. Rudder pedals going on, building up the seats. Again, there's no padding in the seats, but HGW and other people do actual padding for the seats. There's that yellow padding you can get. So we've got a load of oxygen tanks going here. We've got 2 going underneath the floor, and then we've got loads going in the back end of the cockpit. We've got a fire extinguisher or something there. It's telling us to open holes here if we're going to use the wall mount hanger. And then we've got the cockpit sides going in. Sorry, I'm jumping. It should be there and then there. So we've got the cockpit sides going in. Then we're going on here, and we're doing the bulkheads for the bomb bay. Very nice. Nice to see in the kit. They're actually vertical. They should be slightly slanted, but hey. Then that bulkhead's going onto the back of the cockpit. It's telling us to build up 10 bombs. So we've got 10 bombs to go in. We've got the central piece here. We've got the sides here. Typical B-17 assembly. We've got the side bomb racks. All the bombs going in, so you can fill your bomb bay up and have it all looking lovely. Then we've got the rear bulkhead going onto the bomb bay. You've got the table there for the radio guy, and then we've got the bomb bay roof going on there. And then we've got the sides going of the bomb bay going in here with more and more bombs, so you can cram that full. And then we've got more detail going on here for the radio guy. And then we've got some blanking panels going in here. Either that or they're... Are they blanking panels M? Is that the clear sprue? Is M the clear sprue? Let me find an obvious clear part. No, because that's M and that's not clear. So just blanking panels going in there. We've got some boxes going on here. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me, or I can look at some of my research. I've got tons of books on the B-17. I've just actually ordered one from America, which is now out of print, building the B-17. I've got building the P-51. They're fantastic books. I wish I'd known it was out when it was in publication, because I could have got it a bit cheaper, but paid a little bit over the top for it. But it's coming from America, and as soon as it comes I'll do a review on it. It looks like a lovely book, a great piece of research material. So there we go. Right, and then going over here, we've got it's all this anti-skid coating everywhere, so I don't know what that's all about, but I'm not sure if they would have had that in wartime. I don't know. So we've got the forward bulkhead going on here, instrument panel going on the top. Obviously you've got the probably got a decal going on there at the back, although it's not called out here. Do we have a decal for the instrument panel? Yes, we do. It's not called out. So and we've got the frames here going in. Remember, the F had sliding windows, so they didn't actually have the guns coming through the windows like on the G. They actually had a sliding window, so they would stow the guns inside, slide the window back, and then open it. So I guess they hadn't really thought by then of a way of getting it to the gun to go through and pivot inside the window. Although they did it on the nose, didn't they? I'm surprised they didn't do it in the sides. So we've got the windows going in here, so you can have an open window with the central panel removed, or you can have the window completely back and slid back, or you can have the window in its closed position. So you've got closed with the fairing, you've got there with the central panel open, and then you've got there with it slid back, so the whole side is exposed. I'm not sure what they did with the central panel. Did they just push it out, or did it come in from the inside? I can't remember, or I don't know. Not that I can't remember, I never knew. Shut up, Nigel. Machine guns going together here, so have a look at these breeches. The Hong Kong models tend to make all the breeches different lengths, so have a look, maybe get some aftermarket guns. Edward do them, Gas Patch do them. The Gas Patch ones are really nice. The Edward ones are lovely, but they tend to be all just packed, so they bend and bow. And then you can also get the master barrels as well. We've got some nice little gun sights on there. They look very nice actually for 32nd scale guns. In plastic, they look like they're going to be nice, quite nicely detailed. So you can see them here, they're in their stowed position, so they're sitting parallel with the fuselage. That's windows closed, and then here they are in the open position, that's windows open. So depending on what you want to do, there you go. We've got the crew access door going on there with a handle, so you can have that open or closed. It does have detail on the inside, but you need to add some detail to the inside of the underneath the cockpit if you want to go that route, if you're worried about detail, that is. We've got some side pieces here. I'm guessing this is what the gunners stand on. And then we've got some, looks like ammo boxes there. Again, we've got L or D, which is anti-skid coating. Let's have a look at the colours. L is light wood. D is rubber black anti-skid coating. So I'm not sure if they use that in the war. If you know, please let me know in the comments below. So coming down here, we've got the tailplane supports going in on that little bit there, which is the tail wheel housing. Again, we've got this board going down now in the centre. Again, this is non-staggered guns, so the gunners used to get in each other's way. And then we've got these guns going together here, all in the stowed and non-stowed and everything, as we just talked about. We've got the door there, so we've got the starboard waist window and rear door, which is a nice touch. That's open. I believe I cut that open on my first kit, so they may have changed that. So you can have the door open or you can have the door closed. And then we've got the windows here. Before, as I said, you can have them either in their slid back position or you can put them in with their open panels, depending on what you want to do. Again, I'd have to do some research. I'm not sure if they use them for open panels just for ventilation or if they had the open panels to put the guns out of. And then coming on here, we're building up that this is the rear turret gun now. So we've got a Stinger tail on here. It's got the ammo boxes, the guns going together, and then that's all going to fit inside the rear of the fuselage, bringing the fuselage halves together. And then we've got the Stinger tail going over the gun, little fabric piece going in the back there, and then the clear part going on the top. And then here we have the framework and the box and everything. This is all different. For the radio operator's gun in firing position, radio operator's gun in stowed position. So every man took on a sort of another, when it came to guns, they all took on another task. So here we've got all the framing for the canopy, which is nice. It all goes from the outside, so you could fit it afterwards should you want to. You've got the glazing going in the top there, and then there's a fairing going on. And then if you're having the gun in the stowed position, you've got this plate here that actually just sits down in, but normally that would be slid back with the gun exposed, depending on how you want to display your model. You can see it there exposed, and here you can see it closed in. You've got this here, which is something going in the front. Not exactly sure what it is, but you've got some other bits and pieces going in there. We've got a fire extinguisher, all that's going on that forward bulkhead there. And here we are, this is the best bit. We're going to start on the nose. It's telling us to drill some holes to cut out a section here. And this is not the E nose, this is an F nose. I don't think we're going to get an E nose in the kit, we'll see. And then we've got the large panel there with the gun coming through the side. You've got the gun support there going on the inside. Nice to see they've got that in there. And it says here E or H fabric padding. So you want to do some fabric padding there, we can look at doing that. We've got all the radio equipment and ammunition boxes going in here. I shouldn't say radio equipment, electronics equipment for the bomb aimer. And then we've got the seat there for the navigator's table. More machine guns, more glazing, adding in the the guns on the other side now. And you can see there's some boxes going in, ammo boxes by the look of it, and a compass or something there, some other bits and pieces. We've got the light there for the navigator, and then closing those two up. You can add a load of detail in there. If you go and have a look at Primed Model Works, he built one of these a few years ago, and he did a beautiful job of this nose area. Absolutely stunning. So here we've got the options I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So we have this one here with a central gun, or we have this one here with two guns. So I would go for this one every time because of that beautiful framework inside. You can clean that up, have it all nice and seam free, and that'll look bloody lovely sat inside that. And we know that nose is going to be lovely and clear because it's Hong Kong models, they always are. And then we've got the DF loop going on the bottom there. So all very nice indeed. We've got the upper turret here with the flat type glazing. Not exactly sure which type of turret this is. A bit weird. It looks like we've got a glazing panel going over a plastic panel there. I'm sure that should be open. I'll have to look into that. And then we've got the bit for the guy to stand on, and we've got his bags there and ammo boxes on the sides and his operating equipment there. So there we are. So building up the tailplanes, elevators, the rudder. Then we've got the belly gun all going together. Apparently this is a bit of a pig to build. I haven't built one, so I don't know. I've actually glued those blue bits together to deal with the sieve, and that's as far as I got. But people say that this is an absolute nightmare to glue together. Oxygen tanks going on there. And then we've got supports for the bomb bay doors in the open position or we can have the bomb bay in the closed position. Fitting the belly turret, obviously you can leave that until it's all painted and everything, you've done your seams. Tail wheel up, tail wheel down, tail wheel up, tail wheel down. And then we're going to build up these little modules just like we did on the G. The modules for the undercarriage, which is very nice, they're going to sit in the wing. And then we've got the engines going together. We've got the separate rocker cover caps, or covers, with the bleed across tubes to allow the oil to circulate between the two valve gears. And then we've got the main central going in with the push rods and the piece going on the back there. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it's there on all of them. Spinner going together, adding the engine to the cowling flaps, which are in the open position by the look of it. Or are they closed? I can't think. And then going on, propeller going on, wing halves going together, building up the wheel, adding the exhaust into the lower wing. So we've got some resin exhaust to go in there, I expect. And then we've got the undercarriage legs here in extended or folded position. So we've got all that there. Adding all that in, as you can see here, and building up the wing. And then we're going to do all the same again for the other wing. And then we're going to add the wings on. Again, these go in and lock. You don't need to glue them on. So if you haven't got much room for storage, you can easily store this in its broken down state. And there is the model finished. Here's telling us how to build up that stand so we can hang it off the wall. I wouldn't trust it myself, but you know, I'm sure lots of people have. Let me know in the comments below. Have you used that stand on the wall and it's been absolutely fine? So, sprue callouts. I did notice in here, rather than actually shade out parts that you don't use, like most manufacturers do, what Hong Kong models do, they're actually removing them from the sprue. So they're taken away. So you can get your sprues out, cut the parts off that aren't on here, and then you've got all those to go in your spares box. So, you know, if you've got a couple of these, if you've got a couple of G's, an F or an E and whatever, you might be able to do some mishmashing and make some really interesting looking aircraft. But sprue callouts there, all very nice. So we've got 4 of those. We've got one of those and one of those. So we're going to at least end up with a couple of spare cowling flaps there, cowl flaps. We've got the clear parts here. We're using hardly any of them. As you can see there, we've got a lot of the clear parts have gone missing. I'm hoping we'll have some more clear parts with different noses in. There's our different noses. We've got a load of new clear parts here. So if you have got a G and you've got some damaged clear parts, they're all in here. So that's cool. All the bomb parts there, and then we've got the bulkheads and everything. That's all the F nose parts. There's your Stinger turret. So all in all, very nice. And then we've got our decal sheets. We've got 2 decal sheets. So we've got BNR, knockout dropper, and then we've got DFA for Memphis Belle, which is a beautiful aircraft. And then go over the page here. We've got colour callouts. So this is for Memphis Belle with the blocks of dark green on the green, light grey underneath, and then we've got the all the nose art and everything on there. I'm sure there should be lots of stencils in here. I believe Sven is looking at a stencil set for this to paint on, because there's no stencils in the kit decals. So this has got the de-icers on the front of the wing in black rubber. And on these they're silver. I think E is silver. Yeah, E is aluminium. So maybe they got rid of the de-icers by the time this was November 43 and this was May 43. So 41, 2448. So they're both built in 41. Interesting. So I think even then, let me know in the comments. I think 41 as of now, as same as today, that is the year the aircraft was commissioned, built, whatever. So this is the knockout dropper, and as you can see, it's got the different type of camouflage, but the same overall colour scheme. And then on the back we've got our colour callouts. Nice to see again. I always mention this with Hong Kong models. I forgot their name then. Although they have AK in cooperation with AK Interactive, they do actually have guns, Mr. Hobby and Tamiya, which are probably the 2 most popular. And probably going forward we're going to probably see some LP colours appearing on here. And it's nice they're giving us a light green is XF71, that's cockpit green, and XF2, which is white, so 4-to-1. And the light green will be interesting to see what they're calling up for the interior colours. Let me just have a look. I know that some manufacturers call it out wrong. So E is aluminium, which is what all of this back here would be, but the actual cockpit itself is H, yeah, dull dark green, XF26, there we go. I think you could also use XF58, is it XF58? Yes, XF58 is olive green, XF26 is like a dark green, okay. So it's not interior green like the RAF aircraft, just remember that. Right, so there's the instructions. Decals, we can see we have lots and lots of decals. So let's have a look at these. To get these out without having anything. We'll get the light on for the plastic parts, but I've got the light off now because of the reflections. So we've got a little photo etch sheet there. So we've got 4 grills for the wings and some simple harnesses. So nothing much at all really. If you want to fill your boots, Edouard do loads and loads of stuff for these, and you can just fill your boots. Although it's all discontinued now, and I think Hannants have got more stock than Edouard. There is a few bits and pieces about. So here we got these are some for the sides of the. Let's get the light on actually. There we go. I'm also going to bring the camera down. There we go. So we've got here, we have these are for the sides of the aircraft, the hit count and everything. There we are. So that's that little strip there. We've got this little strip here which has some swastikas on it. So that's another hit count. Not quite sure how they're all used. I didn't notice them in the instructions, but I'm sure they are there. And then here's our decal sheet from Memphis Belle, printed by Cartograph, so we know they're going to be good. They are slightly glossy. They are slightly damaged because they're put in the bottom of the box facing up with all the sprues on top of them, which always makes me angry. And then we've got okay, we've got all the same here. But what they've decided to do is they've actually given us, here you got Sally, but they've split the swastika. But here they've decided, we'll just put the swastikas in. So there we go. So maybe if you buy the kit in Germany, you don't get this sheet. I don't know. There's all sorts of funny stuff about having swastikas in models and stuff. Certain parts of the world, it's illegal to have it. It's a bit like the Chinese when they release a Japanese kit. They often black out the Japanese Hinaru, whatever it's called. So here we have knockout dropper. So we've got all of our call outs there for the different. Here we got this is what they've done. They've given us these extra sheets. Thank you, Neil. They've given us these extra sheets so that we don't have to have these split swastikas to deal with. And here we've got another instrument panel. That's handy. So if you mess one up, you've got another one here. That's good. So this one's BNR. We've got all our missions there. Stencils here. We've got a few stencils, but nothing much. I haven't noticed any stencils for the propellers. So maybe the Fs didn't have them. The G certainly did. Maybe the Fs didn't have them. Again, I don't know much about the Fs at all. I've always sort of overlooked the Fs in favour of the Gs. So that's our lovely decals. So let's get some plastic out and see how that's looking. Okay, so we've got some parts out. So first thing we're going to look at is this fuselage half, because this is something I get asked about a lot. And people say, can you build an early G from any of the kits? Now, I have the first kit, as I said just now, which was the first B-17 kit, and that came with staggered waistgun windows. But it didn't have the marking here. Like if you remember on the Rose of York, we had a marking very similar to this. You can see that there, there's that mark in the wall. So obviously what Neil did was made the original G and then modified the tooling with a removable plug so that he could produce either the G or the F from it. So you can have early or late. So you can have staggered or non-staggered. Let's say that rather than E's, F's and all that. So I actually converted mine to a staggered and then cut a piece out and put that in there to make it into a non-staggered. Sorry, I converted it into a non-staggered. The kit was staggered. If I think of it, I'll put a photo up now. Or a couple of photos to show how I did it. But basically, so what you're stuck with now, well, not stuck with, what we've got is this. So what we need to do is, it's a very simple remedial work. It's just very lightly sand. We need to get rid of that ring of rivets. You can see, if you are a rivet counter, if you're worried about accuracy, there is a ring of rivets around the original window. Okay, so we need to get rid of those because they wouldn't be there. All we would have is the longitudinal and the radial rivet rows. So get rid of those and then sand it all flat and you'll be absolutely fine. This is going to be painted matte green, so the finish won't be as important as if you're doing bare metal. But what I would suggest is, if you're going to start sanding, if you come along with a pointed tool like this and you just enhance what's already there, okay, before you sand, that way you don't have to go back and try and make a straight line across there. So if you're going to sand everything flat, because this area here is subflush with that, if you just come in with your pointed tool and just make an indentation where the rivets are, then when you sand it flat you won't lose it. The best video I've got, I think, to show all this is when I did the first video on the Sea King. I did the Airfix 148 Sea King. I fitted those panels and then used super glue and blended and they just disappeared. So I'm glad in a way that Neil hasn't done that here. Like what Airfix did with the Sea King, they would have given you the option to have staggered or non-staggered, and you'd have a piece that goes in and you have to fill and get all the rivets right and everything yourself. This is probably much better and it's probably more solid, but you still have a bit of work to do. But I certainly wouldn't leave that like that if you're going for a natural metal finish. And then on the inside you can see there's some evidence of it as well, but that's not really important at all, is it? So there we go. We've got some ejector pin marks in there you might want to get rid of, especially if you're having the door open so you can see inside. If you're having these windows open, get rid of those. And we can also see here we've got oil. It's not from my fingers. If it is, it's because there's oil on this plastic. So there we go. So it all needs to be washed as you would do anyway. Tail planes, same as the G. We've got the lovely riveting detail on there, which is all very nice. And you can see we've got the detail there, the aluminium metal control surfaces. So that's all looking good. And then we've got the same on there, basically a mirror of that, so you can make the other ones. And then here we have our nose section. So this is obviously that way up. This is for the F version. So you can see we've got some lovely crisp panel lining, some lovely crisp riveting. It's all recessed and it's all very nice indeed, as you can see there. Just that light a second. There we go, that's better. So you can see there we've got the lovely riveting and everything, and then inside we've got lots of ejector pin marks to get rid of, and get rid of all them. If you want to flatten the nose a bit, it's a bit of work to do. We've got to cut that panel there open. So they've obviously given us the option on here. You can have the raised little sort of astrodome if you want to, because you can just cut that out. I'm sure it's in the kit if you want to fit it. And then you've got the option to not have that glazing there or have that glazing there, whatever. So before you start cutting stuff about like the instructions tell you, have a look at your references and see what you want to do. But very nicely done, that is. So that's the nose. Then we have these two discs here, W. I'm not sure what they are. Are they discs for the centers of the wheels? I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing them in the instructions. And then we've got this one here. And this is the framework to support the central gun position, if you're going for that one. And then we've got some more framework there. And then this is a piece that's going in this side, obviously, to support something. And then we've got here, we've got some guns. So we've got the handles going on the backs of the breeches. We've got the gun sights. As you can see, they're all different sizes, and we've got all the different size breeches. Now, these are maybe early 303s for the, or 30 cals, whatever they were, for the earlier aircraft. I'm not sure. They do look like different guns, don't they? But these are 50 cals. So there we are. But if you're going for your super detailed, I would replace them, because as you can see, they're all different sizes, and they should be pretty much the same. Yeah, we've got the these are the 303 barrels here, and then these are the 50 cals. So I don't think we're going to be using those. That's probably for an E version. And then here we have our bulkhead. This is the same as the G, I believe. So we've got our bulkhead here. That's the rear of the instrument panel. So this is where That's going to go in there like that sort of thing. So when you look in through the nose, that's what you're going to see. You've got the access door there. You can have lots of bits and pieces, and you can put some epoxy in there and make it into a blanket if you want to and everything. And some handles there for emergencies. So that is that I'm sure is the bulkhead at the back of the radio room. I'm sure of it. So I could be wrong. Again, ejector pin marks, deep one there, really deep to be filled. The rest of them all look to be pretty much flush or raised, so they're going to sand out easily. So there we are. So I'll get another bag open and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got another couple of bags open. So here we have sprue K. So this is obviously now we've got our G nose, and we've also got the Cheyenne turret. So if you want a Cheyenne rear turret, then there's a spare one in there, and there's also a spare one in the Rose of York kit, but you also get that turret in the original B-17 kit as well. So I've now got 3 of those. There's the walkway for the rear turret. Got some equipment there. We've got some more gun breeches here. As you can see, all different sizes, and they should all be the same. Rudder pedals, seat backs. Here's the upper turret. This is the upper turret framing that we're not going to use, but it's nice to see that it's there if you want to use it. We've got some radio gear here for in the nose, and then we've got, this is the wheel bay for the tail wheel. Again, we've got ejector pin marks in there, but they're in easy to get to places. Nothing down in that radius part, which is nice. If there'd been one in the bottom there, that would be a nightmare to get rid of. But yeah, basically all very, very nice. Again, so if you want to build this kit into a G, I'm guessing you can. Yes, I can see here we've got a nose turret, so you can. We're being spoiled these days. We're getting lots of bits and pieces in kits, so we can build other aircraft from the same box. But there we go. So all very nice. We've seen all this last week actually, so we don't really need to have a good long look at it, do we? So that's that. And then this one here, we've got bulkheads again. So these are our Bombay bulkheads, and then these are either side. We've got the navigator's table there, or sorry, the radio operator's table there. We've got this is the nose part for the G, because you've got the seat over there with the turret underneath. This is the floor of the radio operator's room. There's the belly turret, or the nose turret should I say, for the G. Got the bulkhead there for the rear, the roof for the Bombay. So yeah, it's all here. If you want to build a G, it looks like you can, or do a mishmash of bits and have a late F. It's all there. So that was his name, Peacock. Matt Peacock. I think it's Matt Peacock was the guy that always puts really interesting stuff up on the channel, up on my comments. Have a look. Go back to the Rose of York review and you'll see he's put a comment there about what you get with the different kits and what you can build from them. So here's our Stinger turret, Stinger tail, which is nice. And then we've got all the equipment going inside here in the radio room. We've got some seats. We've got our wheels there for the cockpit. Some fire extinguishers, some boxes there. I'm guessing they're batteries or something there. We've got some radios there or whatever, a DF loop. And then we've got those spoilers there for the sides of the fuselage in front of the guns, I believe. So that's all very nice indeed. All beautifully done. Again, we've got some ejector pin marks in there to clean up, but don't make too much fuss because you're not going to see much of it anyway. But it's all there. And then we have here, we have a part there nearly coming off. That's unusual for a Hong Kong model to have a part coming off the sprue. This must have been dropped at some point. So here we've got the F nose, and then we've got the rear of the Cheyenne turret. I've forgotten the name of it now. I really can't think of the name of it. I just said it 2 seconds ago. This one here, the Stinger. There we go. And then we've got the gun rests there going in the side. We've got the walkways up the sides of the fuselage for the F. And then we've got ammo boxes for the F. We've got ammo boxes there with the bullets in the top. You can see all the rounds, should I say, in the top. Here we've got the internal framework for the windows to slide back into. And then we've got some pieces there. I didn't remember what they were for. We've got some other pieces here, and that's that bit that's going in the front up on the forward bulkhead. And we've got the little bicycle type seat there that's going to go into the turret. So all very nice. And then here we've got our other separate little sprue. This is sprue CC, and this is got the bags there. This is the upper turret. So this is a different type of turret again. So again, you're getting two types of turret in here. And that area there is covered over, but I'm sure that should be, you get the clear part to go on there, but I'm sure that should be open. So I'd get in there with a little tool and open that up if I were you. I'm sure that shouldn't be covered in like that. He's probably done that because of moulding restrictions. He may have had to slide mould it if he had those open, so that's why he's done that. But it's not beyond the abilities of most modelers just to cut that open. It'd be an easy little job to do. So, and it'll give you a far better looking turret as well. So there we go, so that's our upper turret. It's all crisp, isn't it? No flash or anything. So I'll get another couple of bags open and then we'll come back. So we'll get some clear parts then. So this is an example of fantastic packaging for clear parts. You can see here we have, these are the, you probably can't see them actually. Maybe if I turn the light off you'll see them easier. There we go, that's better. So here we have a small sprue here. So we have turret parts. We have the side windows with both the removed and the inclusive center panel there. And these are parts for the turret, I believe. And then here we've got the this is for the stinger tail, the glazing for that. And we've got all the glazing for our forward area, and there's some for the sides of the belly turret, I believe. And then we've got three different nose options, three different nose glazing options there. We have the rear cover there over the radio operator's room, and then here we have the side pieces for the nose, and then there's the astrodome on the top should you want to fit it. Now you can see that all of this, these here are all covered with this protective sticky sellotape type film to save them getting all scratched, and then the rest of this is all sellotaped to this piece of card so it can't all rattle around and scratch each other. So very, very thoughtful packaging, really nicely done. Thank you very much. A lot of companies could learn a lot from this. So yeah, so those parts, as I say, Hong Kong models clear plastic. Just look at those bits there. If I put something in behind there, like I'll put this cocktail stick in, which has got some black super glue on it. But you can, don't worry, it's dry. You can see through that. It's like it's not there. Absolutely crystal clear. Look at that. They're some of the best clear parts on the market, I believe. Absolutely lovely. Again, Border Models clear parts, absolutely stunning on their own kits. Don't judge the Lancaster release on Border Models clear parts, or don't judge clear parts on Border Models Lancaster release, because they're not generally like that. So here you can see we've got lots and lots of bits and pieces for the, you've got the glazing here for the nose of the G. We've got all the ball turret stuff here. We've got the radio room for the G. We've got the turrets for the later turret. We've got the side windows here for the G. So they're all looking good. This one's come off, so it's rattling around. I will put that one in carefully when I put it back. And then we've got all the stuff around here for the actual windscreen and stuff. And we've got a nose there for the G. So as I say, if you've got a G, I've got two. You've got loads of spare clear parts, which is cool. It's always nice to have spare clear parts just in case. So yeah, lovely. Very, very nice indeed. So that's all them. Where am I going to put these without them getting damaged? I can put them in the box actually, because we have nothing else there. So I'll leave them there. And then we'll look at these bits here. Put the light back on. So this is sprue I. So here's some interior detail for our wheelbase. You can see all the ducting there where the exhaust pipes run. Forward and rear bulkheads for the wheelbase. Cowl flaps there. You can see they've got the open slits down the side, which is a nice touch. We've got an oil tank there, exhausts here with superchargers. You can see the lovely detail there on the superchargers. You can get the Edward resin ones, but I think these are lovely. Undercarriage leg, very, very stout. And then you've got a leg there to support the undercarriage leg. And then here, just like we saw on the G, we've got all the lovely pipe work there for the brakes and everything, and a few bits and pieces of greebly. So that's pretty much all your undercarriage bay in there. And then we've got another one here, exactly the same, other than it's the opposite side. So there we go. So that's all very nice indeed. And you can have a couple of spare ones of these, so if you've got a kit with them damaged, then you've got spares there. And the other thing we can look at, I'm not going to get them out of the bag, these are our bombs and all our barrels for our guns. So you can see there with the different ends on the barrels. So we've got 5 of those sprues in there, so we've got enough to make 10 bombs. So that's all cool. So if you're not going to put bombs in your bomb bay, then you'll have loads of spares. And if you've got the Border Models Lancaster, you'll have lots of spare bombs as well, because that's full of them. And then we've got the impellers there to go on the back of the bombs to drive them. So there we go. Right, let's get this all sealed up, and then we'll come back and look at some more. I've got to get that clear part sorted as well, and get that. What I do here, just to let you know, guys, you could put it in a separate bag in there, but what I also do is get some masking tape, and just get a bit of masking tape like so, and just I'm going to put that over the front because it'll be easier to clean if we get any residue. And I'm just going to tape that onto there like so, and I didn't cut off a piece or break off a piece long enough, and then we can put that on there like that. So if you have got a model like this and it's going into your stash, just to protect it going forward, it's best to do that, otherwise it's just going to rattle around in there and get scratched. Even though you're not going to need it for this kit, you can guarantee if you've got a G and you break one, it'll be that one you break and it'll all be scratched. It won't be that one because it'll be perfect. So there we go, that's what they call sod's law. Right, so get all this put away, back in a sec. It's getting really interesting now. I've just found another clear sprue. So we've got these little parts here. Again, crystal clear as you can see. But yeah, I don't know what they're for. They're obviously for some sort of turret. But there's another clear sprue in the bag there. We've also got some more parts here. So these are for the nose. So that's obviously mounts for the side guns in the nose. That's the upper blister if you want to fit it. And then we've got an ammo box or something there. That's sprue GG. Looks nothing like a horse, does it? And then here we've got another turret. So if you mess one up, you've got another one here. So I don't quite know why you've got that in there. And then here we have these beautiful supports, and these are going to look so lovely sat in there behind that clear frame. And you have the guns coming through. They're going to look absolutely gorgeous. And then here we've got the instrument panel. So you've got this panel here is where you put your decal, and then you put that inside, and then you put some glazing over the front. So it's a very, very simple looking instrument panel. You can upgrade it with Edward or whatever. I don't think Airscale did one for this because the nose is actually wrong. The nose should be flattened, not round. It could be that Airscale didn't actually want to make a wrong part. But the Edward one is actually made to fit the kit. And I have seen people, yeah, but they've made it wrong. Yeah, but they make it to fit the kit because not everybody wants to modify their kit. So if you want to modify your kit, you can see here, you can see the way the instruments are laid out. You could actually easily flatten that panel off. Easily. So there we go. So that's those little bits there. And then we've got, I'm not going to get these out, these are our ailerons. Obviously you've seen these before when I did the G. So they're in 4 parts. So you've got some gluing together and then some seams to deal with. And then here is your upper part of your fuselage, which as you can see has got gorgeous rivet detail and everything. Really, really nice. And then on the back here we've got the wall mount. So this actually goes into the bottom of your bomb bay with these legs here sticking in there, and then you've got a screw and a wall plug even, so you could actually fit that to your, that's the bit you fit to the wall, and then this goes onto that. So yeah, please tell me in the comments below if you've actually used this and it's stayed there for, I mean this kit originally came out 10 years ago. If you've used that, then, or the G did anyway, if you use that and it stayed there for 10 years, please let me know, I'd be interested. So and then finally for this little segment, this was very interesting. I was not expecting this. I saw resin parts in the instructions. I was expecting the sort of flexible rubber belts. These are actually moulded resin gun belts, and they're very nice as well. So they are beautiful. They're not the soft vinyl, they are slightly flexible. What I would suggest with these, like I did with the gas patch stuff, if you want to use these, they don't quite fit and you want to flex them, okay, just put them in some very hot water, bend them into position, hold them, and they'll just stay there. So the thing to do is to cut them off and practice with this piece first. Don't go straight in with boiling water, go in with hot water and then gets, you know, progressively hotter until you get the results you want. You may find certain resins in boiling water will just completely go. So there we go. So they are lovely, really, really nice. They're going to look fantastic in the nose area. You can see they're absolutely gorgeous. They've got all the surface detail on them. Detail's gone a bit soft on there. The mould's obviously seen better days, but on that side they're lovely. So we can see them all there, all looking very nice indeed. So we'll get those back in their bag. I'll get the rest of the stuff back in the bags, and then we've got a few more sprues to look at, and then we're done. Okay, so here we go. Right, so this is sprue N for Nigel, and we have on here, you can see the old plastic ammo belts, and I remember seeing Zed's dad's video, and he was complaining about fitting them, but he bought the miniature, or whatever they're called, he bought the resin ones, and he ended up going back to these because these fitted better apparently. There's our hinges for our Bombay doors. We've got the rudder there, all very nice with all the raised detail and the recessed detail for the rivets and panels and stuff. We've got our two walls for the side of our Bombay. You can open these up so you can look into the hollow wing. That's the mounting for the belly, for the ball turret, I believe. And then here we've got the central panel going up the middle of the fuselage, and then we've got that's the back end of the Cheyenne turret. So there we go, we've got another panel there that's going in the floor, I believe, or is that the back of the instrument panel? There's bits all over the place with this kit, same as the last with the G as well. So we're going to have a spare box absolutely rammed full of parts. And then here we've got 4 of these. This is sprue J, and so we've got our cowl flaps here. So remember, we've got 6 of those in the kit because we've got 2 on another sprue. We've got our reduction gear there. We've got propeller blades here. Push rod tubes, the backs of the engines. Then we've got I can't remember what that is. That's I don't remember what that is. No, I don't remember what that is at all. But that might be part of the support that actually hangs it off the wall. Then we've got breeches here for our guns, sensors for the superchargers, wheels front and back. We've got our spinners, some bits and pieces here. We've got all our rocker covers and crossover tubes. We've got the gun mounts there, some oxygen cylinders, we've got more oxygen cylinders here. There's our actual engines. We've got the engine cowls here, pilot seats, got 4 of those, and then we've got another seat there for that's going over where the bomb aimer is, and then we've got other control wheels there. So you've got different control wheels for different eras of Lancaster. So check your references. Got more gun sights, gun cradles. Not exactly sure what those bits there are for. But they're very nicely moulded. And then we've got our tyres here. If there's one thing, if there's 2 bits of aftermarket you get for this, or 3, I would say master gun barrels, resin wheels, and a masking set for the windows, and you're away. But they're nice, very nice. So as I say, we've got 4 of those, and that is it, I think. No, we have got some more to look through. So we'll get some more opened. I'll be back in a second. We'll have our final sprues. Okay, so last couple of sprues now. So I think these are also in the G kit. This is sprue M. As you can see, we've got the rear bulkheads there with the tailplane supports. There's the upright for one of the turrets. That's the rear bulkhead there for the that's the one behind the radio room. We've got seat supports here. We've got the sides. I think that's the sides for the belly turret. Bombay doors. As you can see, beautifully moulded with rivet detail and everything on them. Really nicely done. We have the crew entrance door. Then we've got the interior detail on there, which is really nice. And then we've got bomb racks here. Again, ejector pin mark city, but not to worry. Seems everything has ejector pin marks these days, even Tamiya. So there we go. So that's that one. That's sprue M. And then here, well, not finally, we've got one more to look at. We have the cockpit floor, those massive spars that support the wings, and you have these big pieces in here where the legs will go into that hang off the wall. Part of the belly turret, tail wheel. There's the sides of the cockpit there with the moulded on detail and everything. We've got the racks here for the oxygen tanks, and then we've got another instrument panel here. We saw one earlier, we've got another one there. There's the sensor panel for our throttle levers and everything, which are over here. We've got another front bulkhead there, so obviously different in the F and G. So again, you'll have loads of spares for your F kit, for your G kit, should I say. So all very nice indeed, very nicely moulded. We've got here, I'm guessing that's like a little sort of hydraulic pump of some sort. Beautifully done. There's the inside of the cockpit floor. As you can see there with the detail, we've got raised rivet detail on there. And that's the hatch where they come up through here and then get into their seats. The seats on this kit I think are a bit too far back, but I've got a feeling they moved them back to get in and then moved them up once they were in them. So having them too far back is probably correct. And we've got rudder pedals there. Or is that footrest for the gun? No, we saw rudder pedals on another sprue, didn't we? That's footrest for the gunner. That's all very nice. And then finally here we have, I won't bother getting them out, we can see we've got our flaps. Again, we've got ejector pin marks in there, and then we've got our rear crew entrance there. So all very nicely done. And then in typical Hong Kong model style, we have here, I haven't shown you the wings. Wings with all the lovely beautiful moulded detail. The outer engines are a little high up, they need to be moved down if you want to correct it. Nobody's done a resin conversion yet. We've got a little bit of a sink mark in here. There's a bit there that needs to be filled in. I would say the rest of it will probably be okay, it'll disappear under paint. But, there we go. So as you can see, thousands and thousands of rivets for you to fill with wash and make them pop out. And then generally this time, finally, we have the typical HK signature. There's our poster. This one's got a dog-eared corner, so I'll get this one under. I've actually got underneath my cutting mat here, I have the Rose of York here, because that one was all rolled up on one end, so that can sit under there and get flattened out. So that one can go with it, and then they can go on my wall. So that'll be very, very nice to have. Here we go. Right, so when you see me modelling, you know that under there, that's where they are. So there we go. That's the Hong Kong models B-17F Flying Fortress. As I say, this is Memphis Belle, or what was the other one there? It said was what was it called? What was it called? The other one? Knockout Dropper. That's it. Knockout Dropper. So oh, we have got. Okay, the stencils I saw were actually for the propellers. I was expecting to see the oval badges, but then I guess these didn't have Hamilton propellers or something. I don't know. But as I say, my research on this is not as up to date as my Lancaster research. But I know a lot more about the G than I do about the F, clearly. But they are beautiful. So there we are. As I say, you've got lots and lots of options in the kit. You've got the different noses, different turrets, different tail turrets, all sorts of changes that you've got in the kit. So make sure you check your references if you want to build an accurate model of, you know, if you're going to go and get your decals from Kits World or whatever, make sure you're building the model accurately to what you've chosen, because if it's for a family relative or something like that, you might upset them if you fit the wrong nose or something like that, especially if they were a forward gunner, although I doubt many are still with us that were in those aircraft in those days, unfortunately. So there we go. Right. Thank you for watching. I will see you all very soon. As I say, this is kit number 01E029. Get yourself on over to Hannant's, £273. You know, it's a lot of kit for the money, I'm sure you'll agree. And it's going to take you a good couple of months at least to do a nice job of this one. So it's worth it, I think. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.